Welcome to Kettle Moraine Curling Club streaming service for the 2026 Senior National Championship Men and Women. Tonight, have the qualifying quarterfinals. On sheet A, we have Wright Farbolo. Sheet B, that's for men's. Sheet B, men's. Uh, Shirk Venick versus Neal. Sheet C, Starkey versus LeClaire. Sheet D, Jackson versus Hedstrom. And Sheet E, women's, Heinze versus Segovia. We'll be attempting to feature Sheet E, Heinze-Segovia, on the live stream chat. So come on over to Sheet E stream if you want to hear some conversations. Good evening on Sheet E for the 2026 Senior Women's National Championship qualifying quarterfinal. On this sheet will be Team Heinze versus Team Segovia. Heinze will be throwing the red rocks. Lead is Debbie Wade. Second is Jane Lee. Third is Heather Betzold. I killed that name. And skip is going to be Michelle Heinze. For Team Segovia, the lead, Anna Murphy. Second is Dina Rosenberry. Vice is Cynthia Smith. And the skip is Julie Segovia. Team Segovia is 3-3 in play this week. Team Heinze is 4-2. My name is Pete Tomes. I am your announcer for tonight. I'll try and come up with some good talking, but we'll see what happens. I'm all alone. Right. Team Heinze will have hammer. Game on. Got a high center guard on the center line. You've been watching all week. You know we're playing the no tick rule. Segovia knocks it out. Excuse me. Debbie's second rock. Just about touching the 4. Dina's first rock. Just enough to get her out of there. And hit and roll in. Nice takeout and split of the house. Oh. She's calling Heather to come to the top center 4. I missed it. I looked away, and she must have changed her call when she was looking. Heather is curling with a broken wrist, I believe that is. Trying to snowboard. Hard part about being up here and announcing the game and doing the streams is you turn your back for a second to double check the health of the streaming service and all that, and you miss when they change their call. Is she gonna get around, or is she gonna make she got around it. Excuse me. All right, Michelle's first rock. Oh no, it crashed. right, Michelle's just going to draw it into the house. B. It's going to be a bit spicy. Looks like one yellow. Nice. Center guard just in front of the house, about maybe 3 inches. I got Tom Munich in here. I'm going to set his mic up here in a sec, so give me one.
Tried to get in.
There we go. Now
Thanks, Pete. I tried to get in between ends, and I was a little bit late. They were not on the last shot when I thought they were. So it's good to join you.
Thank you. Glad to have somebody in here now. I feel better talking with somebody that actually knows a lot more about curling than I do.
well, the good news is Tom Godar is going to come up and join us also, or spare me out. So
Sure.
I give you a few minutes and see if we can't make it happen.
Cool. All right. Right here.
And unfortunately, I haven't been able to listen to where you were or what's been going on. So I'll, at the risk of doubling up what you have already said, I apologize for that. But
Nope, I said nothing much other than just doing some obvious call shots when they're coming down the ice. But now it's nice to be able to ask somebody what they think they would call or how they thought the shot went.
Well, it's usually what they're calling is right. That's the cool thing, but definitely can look at some options when the shots get a little more difficult to decide. The front end of these games, as probably everybody listening knows more than both of us, and will have their own opinions. So, and definitely the ladies on the ice, very experienced, and will bring game here and make great call shots. And it's a very simple game when it comes down to it. You throw the correct weight and hit the broom, and it's not much more to it than that.
I think they're going after the back one here. I'm gonna keep the
getting tight. Looks like they crashed the guard on front of the house. And you might get a split on one of those two. Hangs around on the wing.
Yep.
And Red's got hammer. Sitting one behind the tee line. And it
excuse me.
Looks like they're Red's going to throw a guard, top 8.
Yep. Yellow's got a nice setup there to bump those out if they hit that yellow nose. They got to stop that from happening. Excuse me, I was choking on a little bit of a piece of candy I had. I know, cardinal rule number 1, don't chew on candy or gum when you're talking in a microphone.
And I don't know how much background Pete's been sharing with you for the teams. Michelle Heinze's the skip for Redstones, and they're out of the Kettle Moraine Curling Club, so it's their home ice. Maybe a little bit of an advantage, but with the USA Curling ice team coming in, has really improved our ice and given us probably a fair chance for everybody to no real home field advantage, if you will.
Where is Segovia from?
She's out of the Houston Curling Club.
Oh.
Originally from Canada, but now curling out of Houston.
Okay, so this winter isn't anything new for her being up here.
Definitely experienced on that side, and she's a very experienced nationals curler. She's curled club nationals and won nationals, arena nationals, I believe twice. Don't hold me to that history, but a very experienced curler, and not her first time to be in a situation like this. And the rest of her team curls out of Denver, and I do not have which curling club they curl out of, but Tom Godar may be able to add a little deeper information on that. But
yeah, I'll have to ask him how somebody from Houston picked up a team from Denver. That's a big distance to practice with each other.
It's a lot of guys come from a lot of different places and kind of put together teams with friends and people that they've curled against at either other nationals or some of the bigger spiels to build those teams and make it happen.
Sure. Right. Heinze's sitting 3 right now, but Segovia has 2 sitting on the edge there.
And I did not watch the shot call, but it looks like she's going to tap out the one on the corner of the 4-foot. Maybe a double, but she goes through the port.
Got one.
And there's two yellows clinging on over here on the corner. Got the potential for a force. Playing pretty open in this end. There's nothing in front of the house.
Did she call for a top 4 there on the left?
Again, I wasn't paying attention to that, unfortunately. Weight-wise, it looks like it is a little bit on the heavy side, but I think she was looking for the top of the 4-foot. And this one is going to come through the house, it appears. A little bit of help sweeping through, and in fact, it does get through.
Didn't move much either, actually.
Now it's coming off the wall. We haven't seen a lot of. The curl has been pretty uniform, so maybe just weight-wise, she got a little threw onto some old ice and stayed a little straighter in the back.
They're going after the one in the 8-foot right now. They hit that right. She can get them both out.
And they're sweeping to hold it straight. Looks like a nose hit. Yep. Oh, no, she's going to have a little roll over onto that one.
There,
as you
yep.
said, a little tap.
Yep.
And sits right on top.
That's good leave.
Got a very nice roll. Julie's got to like how this end is setting up without the hammer for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing Michelle is not liking it as much as Julie is at this point.
Right. So would you hit or would you freeze up to that just with you having hammer?
Well, it appears she's hitting.
Yeah.
Making the call. So there's a lot of options there, none of which are too bad, but she's going to flash.
Clip her own.
Oh, she got them both.
Yep.
Just caught the top one enough to push both out. Again, Julie's still sitting in a pretty good spot with 2 on the side for, at the very least, a force. So 1.
Yeah. Some of my least favorite rocks are those biters right on the edge like that, on the wing.
And I think she's going to throw one to the top of the 4-foot here and kind of cut down the scoring area. And make Michelle make a choice on, are you hitting it, coming around, or freezing? Been a lot of good games going on since the pool play has ended. The top teams coming in, and if you're able to join and watch any one of the sheets, I think you're going to see some great curling. And here's our draw shot. We're going to get down on it clean as it comes. Looking to set top 8. And they're going to get house and pretty close to half of the top 12. So now they have 3 that are biting on the edges. Tends to put a little pressure on early in the game. The skip's got to start drawing against 3. It's never a good feeling, even if though you have practice and should have a pretty good confidence of what the weight is now.
Right.
It's still never comfortable to have to draw against 3. Anything could happen from a pick or.
Yeah. They are looking, if I read their body language right, they're looking to draw and freeze to that one right at the just below the T line on the left there.
Yep. That's what I would agree.
Yep.
And she's looking to keep that rock around and score her 2. Not an easy option here to try to do a double and stick around without being forced.
Right.
So a good option to go for her 2 by playing the freeze there. They seem to be happy with the weight. They're down on it now, brushing it. Appear to be brushing for weight.
Ooh, that's moving a lot.
And that is curling quickly out.
That's going to leave the sheet.
It may tap that a little, but it did. It just touched it as it hit the line. So yellow sitting 3 with their last skip rock. Michelle has her final shot to follow that. And this is Julie's second game of the day. So
Right, she had a long day today. I didn't see what their call was. I probably would try and draw around the high one there and to touch the 8 behind. Shorten up that scoring field for Michelle.
Yeah,
not give her something to hit.
I think she may be just trying to get to the top 4 and make it put the force on. Force of 1.
Starting to move.
And they have the brushes down. Looks like she is not going to get to the house.
No.
Not going to touch paint.
She is about 6 feet from it.
And nothing terrible with that. It does force, if Michelle makes the draw, it will make the force of 1. And that's a win for Julie to hold her to 1 and take over Hammer and see how she can do in the third. But as I mentioned earlier, it's a draw against 3. I'm not sure what Michelle had in the first end, if she was drawing or hitting. It's always nice to get some practice in before you have to jump in and draw against a house that is sitting 3.
Mm-hmm.
Our camera angles aren't the best. I'm assuming 3 is accurate. The one in the bottom left should be biting, but sometimes they'll fool us with the camera angle, and those close ones aren't really biting. But I think that one's biting enough to make me confident to say it's 3.
Yep.
And they are not brushing this.
And she's
maybe a little concerned that it's heavy. Oh, she's going to play. She is playing the hit. I'm sorry.
No, she's not.
Oh, she is not. Okay. But she got it. It stopped right on the tee line, or just past.
Yep.
It's a nice draw in a early part of the game, and
you can see her body language kind of like slow down, moving her hands, telling it to slow down.
And that's definitely a nice swing. You never want to give up a 3 at that point. And Michelle's had great draw weight all week, and that's that can prove it for you.
Oops.
So we're going to go to our break now, and between ends, we'll throw out a shout out to the ice guys. The ice team, whether it's USA Ice or the Kettle Moraine team of guys led by Bill Bischoff. Bill is it's a volunteer group here, put in the ice, and they're here from most days 5 o'clock or so in the morning until 10 or so, fixing ice, making ice, and making it happen. So a shout out to all of the guys on the ice team, USA team, and the Kettle Moraine team. It's important for the events like this. But we're going to get back to curling now. First stone and the third end is out of hand and on its way. And Heather's down a little sweep in there. You might notice if you're watching, she's got a cast on her left hand.
Yep.
She had to modify a stabilizer, usually throws with a broom on her shoulder, and obviously sweeps very differently. But she's pretty effective one-handed sweeping. I've noticed all week she's able to make a difference.
Looks like a goalie mitt.
It does. She has a mitten on over the cast when she's sweeping and not delivering the stone.
Just an interesting thing here. I kind of glanced over at sheet D. That's Jackson Hedstrom. They blanked the first 2 ends. So it's still 0-0. They're in third.
And the Jackson Hedstrom, I believe, came out of the same pool. Played earlier all week. Did play a game. And I don't know the results of the earlier game. It'd be interesting to see how it shakes out. I believe Jackson won it, but don't hold me to that. And Red Rocks now have one just creeping into the 8.
Another one straddling the 12.
And the call is a hit and roll under the guard, the yellow guard.
She appeared to be a bit inside, but I don't think it's going to hurt her. Didn't move a whole lot, but she got a good roll. Very nice roll.
Roll right where they want it. Undercover. It is a short run if they choose to run double, but Michelle's going to either come to the corner of that. First, it looked as though she wanted to go behind it. Coming to the corner gives her a lot of more options. Jane Lee's making the throw. Her husband, Jane's husband, Jason, is part of the ice team and been out most days while still taking care of his family obligations. And he also curled.
Yeah, he was on Larry's team this week.
So it's a little short on that draw. It's going to provide a little bit more of a guard for those yellows. And Julie's going to go under the guard and try to set 2 under cover. Sweeping it to curl to try to get it over to the cover, and looks a little on the heavy side also. I think they're going to try to take it through the house, or at least as far back as they can.
Yeah.
They got it to the back 8. And Michelle is going to go under now instead of freezing to the corner. I think this is the only game of the ladies' pool right now.
Yeah.
Our ladies' playdowns. And we got 4 men's sheets going actively right now. On sheet A is Far Below and Riot playing. Far Below has won the last 2 years.
Yep. Far Below is up right now 2-0, and they are in the 3rd. They blanked their first end as well, or the second end, actually. I can't pronounce that name.
Jeff Wright has won at one national championship and gone to Worlds as a senior. That's testing my memory there. It's possible that he's got 2, but I think he's got 1 trip to Worlds. And a note on the Far Below team, Richie Roden, he's 2026 Olympian. He's on Casper's team, so you're going to be able to see him in the Olympics. He is the 5th on that team, but a very good resume on his history, as are a lot of the players on all of the sheets. Picking on him a little bit just because he's going to the Olympics, so it's kind of neat to see a guy here with the senior division actually playing the men's level, the highest competitive as you can get, being at the Olympics. And he's curled many men's nationals, and I couldn't tell you everybody that has curled nationals out there or that have won it. I know earlier today there was a really crazy ending in 9 with Starkey and Johnson.
Yeah.
And Starkey basically drew the pen, and they had to measure.
Yeah.
And he came out ahead in the 9th to make that. And Greg Johnson is past national champ, men's national champ. He was on the Todd Bird team that went to Worlds. And I think Starkey is a past national champ also in the men's. So it's a very loaded field all the way across each one of the teams that's out there. So, but back to our game, because that's what everybody's watching. They don't want to hear us talking about crazy other stuff. Got the shot coming. It looks like she's going under the guard now. Michelle's last shot came up short. See if they can get enough curl on this to tuck under those guards, and here it goes. Looks to be a little heavy.
Actually, I like that.
Just to the back, just back to the back side of the 1 foot. It's sitting in the 4 foot. A very wise curler once told me the front of the 4 foot wins games, the back of the 4 foot loses games. And I'll throw that out to Larry if you're listening. He tells that to me. And there's a lot of truth to that. It allows you to come down to it and out count it, and gives you a little backing also. So we'll see where they go. If they're able to get right down on it, under cover, it will be a challenge.
They just got to get
this one is coming.
There, now it's starting.
And right where on the pin.
There we are.
Now there's some work to do here. She's going to rip that guard, it appears. Maybe both of them.
Yep. The universal symbol, throwing your arms out.
Those guards aren't doing her any good there anyway. Just going to cause problems, and very obvious the problem that it caused right away. Looks like it's close. She is down on it to hold it straight. Now they're up and had a nice double. Makes the front of the house look much more inviting.
So did you put a guard in the 12 foot right in the center line there? Or just to the right of center or left?
Well,
or did you draw right down to it?
Yeah, there's a lot of options in here.
Because draw down to it takes they would have to hit it really hard to break them apart, right?
Well, Julie's got the run. The yellow on the corner there can run and move it. The airplane landing over here close to us, which is...
It scared the heck out of me.
Okay.
I didn't even realize that was on.
What is that?
The air conditioner for here because it gets warm in here.
Oh, nice.
So.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We could open a window, but there are no windows in here. We're actually coming to you live from the closet at the curling club.
Yes.
We don't get to watch the game live due to the background noise when you're in the room. So it isolate us up here, and got the screens to where we can see the other games and make it happen. But
yeah, and you guys, if you're curious, my expertise, I curl obviously, but I'm the one that helps set up and run the streaming equipment and that. So I'm more like the technical engineer. So it's nice to have a person like Tom here that knows what's better shot calls and stuff like that than I do, and then I can pick his brain and develop more as well.
Getting a little heavy here. They're going to bang that and get some movement out.
Yeah.
A uptake here. If you run that straight nose, you're going to get rid of that. Both of those reds.
If you hit it just to the right of nose, you can probably get both those out of there and stick.
I
right
think
where she put the broom.
I think nose would do it if you go. You're going to lose your back yellow no matter what on that corner, and you're probably, if you're bringing big weight, you'll most likely get rid of the back yellow that's sitting in the back 12, which really isn't doing anything for the yellows team. So see what she's going to throw here. She's definitely going to get rid of something. Red sitting 1-2. Pete mentioned his expertise. My real expertise here at the club is emptying kegs. Not changing them, just empty them. So had a lot of years of experience.
Yeah, he empties them from the inside out. It's a very good talent.
Yes, well, I haven't figured that one out, but I have emptied my share of kegs. And our club president today made a run out to pick up some more beer, so it's a good thing he took care of us to make sure there's beer on in-house and having the hospitality that we have come to enjoy here at Kettle Moraine. So the shot is off. First skip rock for Julie. And it's coming down to, looks like we're going to get back to nose. Almost.
And her shooter stays on the edge. But just draw right back down to it.
Yeah, probably a little better. Higher is going to end up better. And if you want to get greedy, you can come into the 4 foot. But when you're trying to steal, if you run the risk of, if you get greedy, you open it up for the other team. Make sure that if you're going to steal one. I'm not going to say that the steal is not on 100% sure here. There's pretty good options yet. But this one comes into anywhere on the center line probably is what she's looking for. And she's a little heavy and comes in. The heavier she is, the easier the shot to remove those.
This is her last rock.
And it's coming back to the center line. They need some curl here. If it should move across the center line. Just don't go too far. So now that's going to give Julie a couple of options. She can run that yellow on the right back.
Right.
Or she can draw the pin and take her one.
Yep, use the red as backing if have to.
The run back, the problem with the run back most likely is I think the back one, she's probably sitting 1-2 in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And really 2, 3, 4 at this point. The red is number one. If she's able to successfully run back the yellow and she gets that yellow out, that's probably only the 1-2, the yellow's in the back, if in fact the angle that we're looking at is accurate.
Right.
So it appears that the front yellow is there, so she would be able to get it out. Otherwise, there's not an easy shot to get it out without doing the run back.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a terrible run back lengthwise. I would expect she's going to have a pretty good shot here, and there's a lot of good options. If she noses onto that red, she'll sit one, and possibly two if the back one is there. Probably going to lose the one right on the 4 foot. If she runs it straight back, she's going to lose the one she runs back, and hopefully get rid of the red would be the shot that I think would expect her to have. It's an outside chance her shooter could spin down, but I think it's going out the top corner, and here's off. She's out. And they are not sweeping. They're happy. Now they're on it. Staying on it. Yeah. Got just where she wanted it. And is the roll going to sit? Yes, it is. I think that's for two. It's a nice shot. And it appears they agree that it's two. They're kicking the stones.
A lot of rocks in that house.
There are definitely a lot of rocks in that house. And you'll see that, different strategies play out that way, that some teams prefer lots of guards and play bumps and runs. Other teams are kind of get nervous. I tend to get nervous when there's a rock in front of the house, when I have hammer particularly. So, but it's definitely a skip's choice on what strategy they like to play.
Yep.
And a little bit of it dictates what the other team's doing. Pete, you got an update over there?
Yeah, real quick. Right, far below. Far below just scored 4 in the third. Be up or 3 in the third to be up 3-2. Krenvinick is just tied the game 3-3 against Neil. Starkey is up by 1, 5-4 against LeClaire. Jackson Hedstrom game. Somebody finally got on the board in the third end. It is 1-0 after 3. Now, obviously, right now we are 3-1 in this game.
Well, and we didn't get to see it, but the question I would have is: was it a steal or a force on that sheet? Somebody flash a take, or did somebody get forced and hit it and not roll out? So we'll have to go back and catch the stream. They are on YouTube, and you can go back and watch the games, replay them, and rewind them, and catch back up to it. And if you did miss the Johnson-Starkey game, it went 9 earlier. I strongly suggest you go back and catch the 9th end, particularly the skip stones.
That was the one where they were like both rocks were like 1 inch from the button or something like that.
Yeah, they were as close to the pin as you can get, and Starkey had to draw the pin, and it was, I think both teams felt like they had the game at that point. It was that close, and our officials, which we did not say thanks to earlier, but the officials came in and made the measurement, and turned out Starkey did not hear how close, but judging by the body language of both teams before the measurement, I think they both felt like they were closer to the pin than the other one, and which usually means that's a pretty close measurement. So, but our head official is Mike Shooter, and he's running the show here for us, and we've got a lot of timers that are here, 40 plus spots, maybe 50 spots, and those timers come in, and these events can't happen. They're volunteers. They come in and keep the games on pace where they need to be, and we appreciate not only the officials but all of the timers to make it happen. And with the number of teams that we have, 40 teams between the men's and women's, we used the Wauwatosa Curling Club and had draws during the day, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Used their ice, so the ice team was working both of those clubs to make it happen. So Yeoman's work to USA Ice Team and the Tosa Ice Team and the club at Tosa for allowing the curlers to get these games in a little more manageable draw times. And the Tosa Club, if you're not familiar with if you're not from Wisconsin, it's Wauwatosa. Most people around here call it Tosa, just short. A great club, very long history.
Yep.
And they had a terrible flood. I think it was 1,000-year flood in Milwaukee this year. Like 8 inches of rain, 9 inches of rain in 2 hours. And
all of southeastern Wisconsin actually had gotten hit very, very, very hard. And Tosa, their entire basement all the way to the ceiling was water.
And they had at least a foot in the ice house and in their mechanicals, and they didn't get to curl until November or a little bit later to get things up and running, and they're still recovering in the basement, all of the stuff down there remodeling. So
they just finished last year doing the ice area
remodeling too. It was pretty rough, and I know a lot of their members of friends and families, and even some of our members of friends and families that live over in that area experience the same in their homes, and it was a pretty bad situation to say the least. So, but back to curling.
Yeah.
We've got the Heinze team now throwing. Jane Lee
trying to come through I don't think she was trying to go after the guard.
So she crashes the guard and sits in front of the house. And red has hammer in this end. And the shot call, I believe, is coming around behind, so drawing behind the two guards and the two rocks in the top of the 12-foot.
You like the weight? Starting to move. A little heavy though. Gonna be back 8. Touching the 4.
And that was the first rock from the third.
And that would be Cindy Smith.
Now Jane Lee's rock is on the way. She did make it around the rocks in the front, came down to the back of the 4-foot. Looks like Jane is going to get a little piece of that and roll. Got the roll of death, if you are familiar with that term in curling. I was not. One of my curling partners gave me the lecture on the roll of death, and basically just means when you want to come down and freeze to it, you hit it and you just roll a little bit open to where it's the easy hit. And I didn't see her shot call here, but she may be just coming around, not worrying about that one in the back. It's nice to have those behind you as catchers. So they're down brushing it already.
I think she was a little in.
See if she has the weight. Looks like she's coming in. Should be in the house. Got to come down to Jane's and give it a little tap, maybe a little roll. Oh, she's going to come up to just right past the tee line. I think she probably wanted either a little roll off of that red to get over buried, or just staying up on the top of the 4-foot and take away that draw path. This gives the Heinze rink a chance to come down. And actually, I was wrong. Jane is not throwing thirds. Heather is throwing third. Yep. I'm sorry. Jane, I promoted you. If you go back and listen to that. And Heather, I'm sorry for demoting you in the middle of that. Heather has also curled some national championship competitions, curled mixed doubles for a while, ladies also. One of those names you'll hear and see from competitive curling. And I think that one's going to run a little straighter than she wanted. Yeah. She got a piece of that yellow and moved it over under the cover. The draw is still there. Actually, the draw is still there on both sides, so the draw paths are quite open. And if you can get one in to behind those, good skinny those guards, it's going to be hard to move them. The ice guys are making their way out onto the other sheets for the fourth end of the break, halfway point. They're going to mop the sheets and add a little pebble to the hack areas. It gets worn down. And she has got by it, but a little bit on the
high,
a little heavy side. It's a down 2 here, still available. Who's that with the... Oh, that's an official? I thought it was the pebbler.
Which one? Him?
Yep. Well, this is an interesting end setting up. What team is at break? Are we on sheet D with the break, I think?
Sheet D. Yep.
And that's the... Jackson
Hedstrom, and it's tied now, 1-1 after 4.
All right. And when we get to a break here at the split, I'm going to jump out and see if we can get Tom Godar to come up and join us. So, Pete, is there anything else you need from me?
No.
I appreciate you inviting me up to
no, I appreciate
do
you
some
coming
talking. Red Rock just didn't quite curl as much as she wanted, but she did get shot out of that. So
it is exposed.
Taking a close look at it, but looks like she's just going to draw in. It's pretty open. It got backing even if you can get by. Again, it's skinny in that top guard is what matters. If you can get tight on that top guard, you're going to be in pretty decent shape.
If she's able to hit that just right of nose at a almost hack weight, she could almost drive that between those two red and push those out of the way and sit 3.
Yeah, I think Good Money says she's probably just looking to get in position for the steal. And if she can, she rubs it a little bit. Be pretty good, obviously. But I think her first play is to
just come around and
sit 1, take away the draw path. It's going to be difficult to move it far enough to do anything. They may have to start working the draw on the other side for Michelle when she comes through. But
yeah, they haven't really thrown anything on that side of the sheet all game. They've been avoiding the wall side.
A little hit and roll here definitely would be nice. And like you said, she would be sitting 3. Gives you a very good, if you're calling that shot and you make it, that's great. If you're a little light and you curl around it, you're sitting 1. So she's got some pretty good options here for the possible steal. And she's delivering her first stone of the 4th end. They're cleaning the rock. Now they're going to sweep it to curl. Now she's going straight, so it must be pretty close. Need a curl probably. Got the tap, and she may be sitting
1, I think.
Yep, it's pretty close. There could be sitting 1-2. It could be sitting 1-2-3 if she's really lucky. But I think you're right, Pete. It's for sure 1 yellow.
Yep.
Even with the angles that we have there. No. And it doesn't give. She was pretty tight on that high guard. Michelle's going to see if she can't just bring this right into the full 4 foot and put herself back in the driving seat. And if she comes a little short here, it's not the end of the world. She still has either the tap back or the run. But I think she would like to be sitting number 1 if she can be at this point.
Yep.
And with a score of 3-1 after 3, not a good time to give up a steal. So I think she's definitely wanting to ensure that she's there and got her options going. So let's see. Here's her first skip shot. It's off. And there are no brooms on the ice yet, so the weight's either right on or now they're down, so trying to hold straight, but they're back up. So trying to get a piece of those back yellows. Got to sit down.
Nice.
It's a pretty good spot for that. There's no question now. She's sitting 1.
Yep.
Does give Julie the same shot with backing. She can come down and sit in there. She can also angle raise her yellow on the left as you're looking from the other end from the hack. It's on the right. And that is, in fact, the shot that she is going to call. So, and that could indicate that that red is 1 and the yellow are 2, 3, and 4 playing a angle raise.
Mm-hmm.
It might also just mean that putting it in there with with an angle raise right to the pin guarantees her a steal of 1, which is a pretty good lead going into the split if that does in fact happen. And if it goes the other way, red gets 1 or 2 here. It's a little risky because she flashes this. Michelle does have the draw that she just threw to sit 2.
Another neat shot thing could happen. She flashes her yellow. She could tick the red possibly a little closer
Yep.
into.
Yep, and move the yellow back a little bit too.
Yep.
They're brushing for sweep. It's coming down.
This is going to hit the guard.
That is correct. We're on the guard. So now Michelle.
Come the same way she did before. They're going to call the same shot that she did before.
Well, they know the line, and she knows the weight. I would expect her to put this right into the 4-foot, and we can go to the break tied. But curling's a funny game. Sometimes when you expect it, that is not what happens. And her rock is out of hand now. Brushers are not on it. A little bit
lighter.
of clean now. They're calling a curl. No, they're calling straight. She is on the guard. A little bit on the light side, so it curled up before it got back there. So, all right, we're going to go to a break. Do you have an update on scores from the other sheets in case nobody's there?
Yep. So sheet A, right far below, is tied after 4, 3-3. Sheet B, Cirkvinek and Neal. Cirkvinek's up by 1 after 4. It's 4-3. Starkey Leclerc on sheet C. Starkey's up 6-4 after 4. Jackson Hedstrom is tied after 4, 1-1. That's
all right. Excellent, Pete. Well, I'm going to step out of the room and see if I can get Mr. Godar to come up and join you for a little bit. And I do appreciate your time, and thanks to the thousands of listeners out there for this. So
actually, I think we broke 1,000 listeners, not at one time, but overall the entire week. We've had quite a few people watching our streams, so it's
excellent.
Been very good.
Well, thank you to those of you that are viewing, and if you're able to tolerate our commentary, or if you just turned us off, that's okay too. It's
the mute button's a wonderful thing.
Yes, it's important, and it's good to have you supporting your local club members and just getting to take in some good curling. And it's going to get better the next games. All of these are going to be great games, I think, just looking at the scores across the board. And the next games, the next round, they just get better. And so stay with us. Join us again. And, Pete, thank you. And I'm going to exit stage left and get Mr. Godar in for you. So thank you.
I'm going to mute and run and get a drink and come back up. All right. Thank you. All right, introduce yourself, guys.
Hello, I'm Phil Shryock from the Granite Curling Club in Seattle, here doing some guest commentary for you.
And good evening, Tom Godar. I am a member of the host club, Kettle Moraine Curling Club, and on the committee, and mostly I stand on the other side of the glass from where these great competitors are standing. But what fun we've had this last week to see this terrific competition from all over the country.
So what do you guys think right now? What on this game? What is her call right now?
Well, it looks like they're trying to pull one back into the house, right? Get a little bit behind the guard. A little sweeping going on, getting it close to the butt, and there we go. Into the forefoot, nicely done.
Yeah, that's a pretty good shot there. Sitting top four. They were drawing against two, and now they are sitting shot.
How long you guys been curling?
So I started curling, as I call it, as all of us curlers know. Curling tends to go in Olympic cycles. So I started curling in 2010 because the Vancouver Olympics were up the road from Seattle, and I signed up for Learn to Curl, and kind of from there I just decided that this was my new lifestyle, and it's kind of gone crazy from there.
Well, this is Tom. The Segovia team is looking to try to find a way to move that one off of the forefoot. I was curling long before there was Olympic curling, and in fact, in Milwaukee, where I started curling, and in Wisconsin, there were many proponents of moving this game to the Olympic arena, and so I watched that development, and it's fundamentally changed the way in which we express the game. We've added things like the free guard zone and other things to make it a more interesting competition. I remember in '89 when the World Championships were in Milwaukee, the game was quite different, and those were the World Championships. Now we see this draw game, the touch game, as well as the hit game, and I think for most of the viewers, most of us who are playing, it's quite a different and frankly a more interesting game.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see how this shot works out for the Segovia
She
team.
runs the risk of pushing that a little further back behind the guards if she just clips it. Or she hits it. Ooh.
All right, she's opened it up. And that lonely little red rock is surrounded by 4 yellow rocks. I always worry about that myself.
Yeah, that didn't work out for my team this week also well.
Well, these folks have played, how many games have they played by now? 6 or 7? A lot of sweeping, a lot of shots that they've made, and a few that they've missed over that period of time.
Yeah, let's see here. I believe Michelle is 4-2.
Yeah, I think that the women played 6 and the men played either 4 or 5.
Team Heinze is 4-2, and the other team, they are Segovia are 3-3.
Right. 6 games, a lot of concentration. It's not just the physical activities, but it's the thinking game that is part of these last 5 days.
So she's hoping to put a guard probably on the K and bank, or even draw. She doesn't want to draw right down to it, does she?
Don't think so.
I think she wants to keep this high.
Yeah.
Well, I love to watch the Heinze third, our vice skip for that, Heather, who's curling with a broken arm. Talk about dedication.
Yeah. I was wondering earlier how she was going to do this, and
yeah,
I couldn't.
I think the advice was don't go boarding the week before a national competition. Snowboarding.
And don't professional athletes have things in their contracts to say they can't water ski or ride motorcycles and junk like that? Oh,
yeah, that's not bad.
So that's a little heavy, but
as
it's
a professional athlete, Peter, you'd know the answer to that. All right.
So they might. Are they sitting 2 here, or maybe just sitting 1?
I think they're sitting 1. If you just look at how the red is barely touching the red from the top from this angle, so it's probably a little bit of a white on the edge there. There's a double there if they hit it right.
I look at the Skip and her Vice talking together, and I'm thinking that probably they're thinking about a double.
If they hit it nose or just cross face and hit it just right at nose, they got both of them.
Well, let's just watch and see how this works out. Sorry if I was shouting here. Good line.
The line looks pretty good. The weight looks pretty good. Maybe
It's
a
gotta
little
come in a bit.
wide.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yep. It's going to go right past it. Take whatever's out. So there's one scored or two. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we get to watch them hang a score on the board, folks.
You know, that's what I do like about watching this championship is that they have somebody hanging the dang score right away. When you're watching league play, sometimes an end and a half before people start hanging the score.
Well, I was talking to a fellow curler who said in league play it's not unusual for him to delay because he thinks it might frustrate the other team. And I said, well, you son of a gun, don't do that. That's not the spirit of curling, man.
Only one on that.
Yeah, that was our guess earlier on that it might have only been one. But with the camera angles so that our viewers can see all of the work in front of the hog line, it's harder for us to know exactly where the rock might be on the circles. All right, Deb Wade is going to throw the first rock for Team Heinze. Kind of fun to watch how you have games within games. So the leads, in a sense, play against each other. See how they set up their ends. We're working pretty hard with the broom right now.
We're going to just tap the red back a little bit, but nothing spectacular.
Yeah, not a bad outcome. Kind of double guard there. Yeah, I definitely when I throw lead on my competitive on the team in this event, and I definitely sort of play that game of like how do I compare to the other lead, and did I do my job properly?
Michelle wanted that center right above the 12. That.
Guys, I do like the split screen so we can watch the player who threw the rock, watch her own rock go down as we see the rock land. And here it is just off the center line, a high guard, but plenty of work to come behind there now.
You can hear her screaming from all the way over here, and she's on the other side of the building.
Don't we skip
It looks like that's going to be it. Yeah, that's a nice little shot there.
Nice little biter. It was going to be full 12? Almost. That is nice.
Yeah, I don't think you could have put a piece of paper between that lead guard, the red one, and the yellow that just went by.
That was all sweeper's work right there.
All right, Jane Lee has just released her rock as a second. Let's see where she goes. I assume she's trying to come behind further.
Maybe a little bit heavy. Will it stay in? It's a nice little shot. Yeah,
Right on the button.
Right on the button.
Or just beyond.
Race to the 4 foot is on.
I have friends downstairs, so I won't stay too long, but they've never curled. They've watched it somewhat on TV, and I was trying to explain the game to them in English. For instance, the phrase race to the 4 foot.
Sure.
Not well understood, except for our audience. We assume virtually every one of you who's listening is a curler. And if you're not, thank you. I don't know why you're on.
No, there's definitely a tremendous amount of vernacular in the sport, more so than most. Also a nice shot, and they're gonna sit.
They got it, but they're open.
Yeah, it's exposed, maybe a foot heavy, and ticked off and kicked outside there.
Yeah, that little tick made that other red actually a pretty rock, the protected.
Yep.
So she can come and just hit that and get a nice roll. Both those will be pretty well buried. Have to come from the other side, and I think she was a bit in.
Yeah, that shot is putting Deb to work to try to hold it straight.
She's gonna clip the guard, I think, or even hit it nose, drive it back. Oh, I would keep sweeping that as far as you can. Keep that open.
Every rock's a learning circumstance.
And we'll call that a good miss, though. She's sitting. They're sitting at second and third, and open that up a little bit.
What are we looking at with this broom, fellas?
They're trying to draw high 4, I think, behind everything. Probably like right where the left of the B is in bank. Oh, they're gonna clip that guard and roll in.
The guard.
Or that rock, not guard.
That is.
But it puts it where it was going to be anyways. That's what did Bob Ross say? Happy mistakes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's fortunate to actually hit that, because otherwise it would have hit their number 1 rock and possibly moved it out of number 1.
Well, all of us who have curled, and those of us who hold the stick as the skip, think about the good miss and the bad miss. It's not every shot is made.
I'm not sure whose second shot here. It's pretty close.
And only roll to the outside.
It's going to be pretty close with all 3
It's
now, actually.
Also, yeah.
As the skip is observing.
I was in a game once at a Bonspiel where we actually had to measure 4 rocks into 4 foot.
No, it's.
And it was.
I'm not sure which one of the 4 was actually shot.
Yeah, you had to measure all of them.
That's wild. Yeah.
Well, we've had a terrific officiating crew. My gosh, the volunteer hours that they've put in, and I've watched some pretty interesting measures. But thank you so much for those who learn how to become officials and then put that learning to work here.
Oh, she's thinking both.
That was the hope, but she just missed.
Wow.
It was a call for a double and just, a couple of inches off.
Yeah.
And over 120 feet, a couple of inches makes a lot of difference. Well, Michelle said, I want a guard, so I think she believes she shot it.
Heather's last rock, right? Yeah. I'm trying to make it move.
Needs to curl a bit here.
Take the tick if you can.
Might even get that tick for sure.
Oh.
That is a pretty good outcome.
Drive that straight back and see if you can maybe even get all three. If she hits that,
for sure.
She could. At least get the one or two. Or do you try drawing the other way and tapping that yellow back? Well, never mind. They already threw the rock.
They've thrown the rock. These skips, these skips have a pretty deliberate and conscious. There's not a lot of think time. They know where they want to go.
Yep.
Well, and good skips are thinking 3-4 steps ahead, and so they're not having to adjust each shot.
Can't tell what the timers say. It looks like Michelle has 11 minutes yet, but I can't see what Segovia has.
I think it's 8:44.
Yeah, 8:44.
Wow. What's the placement she want?
Was she going to tap the front one, or is she trying to just load it up with more red? It's a pretty narrow broom for just to throw a guard, so I'm wondering if she's going to try to tap the front one. Gets down, shoots. Not a whole lot of delay in that delivery.
Yeah, looks like a straight guard here, I think.
That moved too much.
A little tap won't hurt though.
You know, we're only broadcasting one game, but we have the opportunity to look across a bunch of sheets. And on sheet B, it's a tie score. On sheet C, it's a tie score. It's a close game on sheet A. Sheet D is the only one where there's a difference in score. We're watching some pretty good curling, and there's probably about 40 people down below watching some pretty good curling at the Kettle Moraine Curling Club. Come on out tomorrow, where we're going to have some semis and some finals, and it's going to be some awesome curling tomorrow, too.
The funny thing about sheet D is they blanked the first two ends.
Yeah. Well.
And then they were tied after 4, 1-1. Now it's what is that, 6-1?
Yep.
And that's Team Leclerc. Oh no, yeah, Team Leclerc.
Well, they've won a couple of these games, haven't they, over their years?
For sure. And sheet A, far below versus right, is actually a rematch of the final from last year, which is in a quarterfinal, which is given the nuances of the DSC, is a little bit, that's kind of a lesson on, how crazy curling can be.
She's looking to drive that straight back and see if she can get those two reds out, and plus that one.
A lot of pepper on that rock, going pretty fast. There's some sweeping to try to keep it straight right now.
She's moving in. She's going to hit on the ends. Opened it up, but Michelle will probably put it right back.
Well, she curled a little bit too much last time. We'll see what she does to adjust, see what her shot is.
I'm actually curious if she keeps a high guard again here. Or she could just come in and sit on top, conceivably.
She tapped the broom at around 812. Right around that band there at the white. So I think she wants a little deeper.
Yeah, I'd say a biting 12 here is probably ideal.
That's pretty important to end. 6th then, we're getting close to the end of the game. Yeah, again, it's pretty long and it's curled quite a bit. Well, is there a shot for a double there?
I think she still goes. Yeah, I think she goes for the double for 2 here. It's not an easy shot, but it's there. Yeah, it's definitely there.
Yeah, she has to come across the top. Well, Julie has been in her share of national competitions. She's at the club championship, I think, last year, and the arena championship. So she's thrown her share, I'm sure, of shots that high risk, high reward. Look at that broom placement. Going to do one end, then the second end. All right, pretty deliberate in her setup. There's the release.
She's not taking much room here, so I'm guessing she's going to throw some weight.
Yep.
They're sweeping for the curl.
I don't think that's going to work.
Out there. She's going to hit
yeah,
that.
she might even. Oh,
that works too.
That will work.
That's a creative way to get to the
That's
button.
what we call a plan B for those of you watching at home.
That's plan Z on the on the Excel sheet. Wow.
That's why we play the games. We don't look at stats. That was fun. That was fun to watch. A little disappointing, I suppose, if you're watching it from the other side saying, gosh, how did that happen? All right, tight game on sheet E, quarterfinals of the women's championship. Well, while they're talking, I've been one of the committee members on behalf of Kettle Moraine Curling Club, and I don't know if I have 2 people listening or 200, but I want to say thank you to the committee that worked so hard for this. That's been awesome to work with them. We have so many timers from around various clubs, but certainly Kettle Moraine has put in more than its share of timers and officials, but people all over this area supported this championship. We've folks from the United States Curling Association have come in to help. Sean's worked with an incredible ice crew from Kettle Moraine to make some wonderful ice throughout the week. It takes a whole lot of people to put on a championship, and not one of them's taken a nickel. So thank you so much for all of you curling volunteers around the country, and for my teammates and my friends from Kettle Moraine Curling Club. What an awesome, awesome job you guys have been doing all week. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and as a USA Curling board member and as a participant in this event, I would like to thank the Kettle Moraine Curling Club and Wauwatosa Club for being willing to host this event, and you know, it it means a lot, and I'd love to see more clubs. It really is important that clubs host these events. I think it's a lot of fun, and just thank you to everyone. All right, so their first rock came into the house. Looks like they're trying to hit it, and looks like they're gonna hit and roll out.
Yeah, stick around in the rings. Beautiful shot.
Right on the wing, yep.
And I know USA Curling is really, they're very interested in these championships, but there's also the Olympics and what those competitive teams are doing. There's a lot of moving pieces in your role as a board member and for so many of our, staff members trying to keep track of all this stuff. So we thank USA Curling for paying attention to us who are recreational curlers and still trying to wind up for the big things that are coming up. Thank goodness both men and women qualified. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It was a lot of work.
I don't think there's ever been this busy of a year in terms of events. Just because of the extra added event of having to actually qualify for the Olympics once you win nationals. Or won the qualifier. Yeah, it's been a crazy year for sure. Yeah, I think Dean probably this is a stressful year for him for sure, but it's been great. It's been exciting, and I think again I can't believe the Olympics are in a couple of weeks here. So.
Well, and at the same time, I mean, Craig Perry spent the entire week down here. His wonderful daughter has been assisting throughout the week. Sean's been out, obviously came down before the championship started to give his expertise to the ice makers here and at Wauwatosa. And I do join in thanking Wauwatosa for their role in this wonderful championship. But what's also been impressive is, USA Curling's been really responsive when we've had questions, and they've offered suggestions without a heavy hand, so they've made it easy for us at Kettle Moraine to enjoy hosting this championship.
She's calling for a tap back.
Yeah, it looks like a tap back here. Had a come around, come up full 8, so we're going to tap back and try to sit 2 here. I'm sorry, sit 3 here.
3.
Ideally, yeah.
3 if they hit it hard enough, yep.
Jane's first rock, I believe.
Looks pretty good. That's
very nice.
That is a nice shot.
That's fun to watch, isn't it, guys?
Absolutely.
They're actually over there, but yet it sounds like they're like right behind us.
Straight take. Trying to get a little curling action out of it. Just caught it enough. Wow, and 3 of them stay on. All right.
They're going to all stay on the rings.
Yeah. Probably a little further out than she wanted to hit that, but that's not a bad outcome. Big take attempt coming up here. Yep. Trying to get at least a couple out, I'm guessing. 1 out, and misses both rocks just by a touch.
Almost got the double there.
Yep.
But they are sitting shot.
Hedstrom's starting to run away with it on sheet D.
It looks a little wide, but I think they might be able to shoot it the other way. And
okay, and it's
still shot.
Yeah, and
yeah, yellow stays shot.
and a call to put a second one in there, probably behind the guard. It looks like to me. Oh no, it's a take.
I think she's
No,
trying to.
no, she's coming behind. Okay, yeah.
She's gonna clip. Well, they got it straight.
Nicely swept,
Wow.
nicely done.
Yep.
That is a nice come around to sit 2.
Get rid of the guard. Drive her back. Yep.
Well, Michelle would love to clear not only the guard, but the one that's sitting on the top of the 12, or the top of the 8.
Heather was a bit in. That's going to hit her.
That's not the best outcome. Well, Vice Cynthia Smith's holding a broom out on the far side of the sheet. Looks like they're going to try to come back towards the center from there. A lot of encouragement to sweep. We can hear it even from up here in the booth.
And they're on the other side of the building.
Yeah.
Way on the other side. Kitty corner.
Yeah, that's 5+ sheets away from us, and we can hear that call.
So draw to the 4 foot to sit 4, and they're in a pretty good position right now.
Well, the Vice, Heather Bechtold, walks around, takes a look at how might a double occur. Where do you have to hit that lead rock? And Michelle's getting ready to throw this takeout stone.
Oh, this is good. Watch this. Oh, darn. I was hoping for a little more of a.
That just crossed too much for the double. Well, Julia's working hard at putting lots of pressure on Michelle with the house as it's set up now. Sweeping right out of her hand.
And she knocked one of her own out.
Yep, that was the sweeping out of her hand. It gives Michelle a chance to, looks like, perhaps take two if she can move that out and stay.
So that's how deceiving the camera angles can be. Is you look at that yellow rock in the back right there, none of them are touching it, so that's must be biting the back line. And right here, it looks like it's not.
Right.
I just call those rocks skip trippers. They don't do anything for anybody. Get in my way when I'm walking backwards. An important stone. Brooms down, brooms up, brooms up. Looks like it's a made shot.
And no sit for two.
There we go. Makes for a fun eighth end, folks. Don't go anywhere. If you're thinking of leaving now, hurry back after you've gotten your popcorn. Well, I'm going to let Pete take it back from here, but the voice who started this this game out, thank you. Thank you for letting me join you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Is that your phone? All right. Thank you, Tom Godar. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thanks.
And thanks for sticking around, Phil.
You want me to stick around?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Unless you don't want to.
Oh, no, this is fine. Or I need it or no.
All right, while it's still getting ready to shoot the rocks, sheet A, right far below. Far below is winning 6-3 after 7. They're just starting the 7th end. Sirkvinik is down against Neil, 5-4. So Neil's winning that one. Then sheet C, we have Starkey and LeClaire. LeClaire is up 9-7 after 7. And Jackson Hedstrom, which the game that started off really slow, is now 7-1 Hedstrom. And I think they actually they shook on that one. They're done on that sheet. All right. Heinze's up 5-4. Sometimes I hate being up by 1 without a hammer.
Yeah, it's precarious for sure.
I notice when I skip a few times here and there, and it always bites me in the rear is if I'm up in the 8th, I change something. I don't know why. I try to tell myself not to change something. I change something, and then it gets me every time. And that's, me only curling for like 8 years. That's the rookie skipping in me,
So it looks like the draw is going to be a little heavy. It might stick in the house. Yeah, it's going to be
back 4.
Back 4. Back 8.
Back 8. You know what? That far back isn't bad.
Looks like it might be a little light and a little tight.
They're going to tick and roll and split them up. Push. That's spicy coming through. She did want the top touching 4.
So it looks like they're going to just come and draw in here again. Hopefully sit 2. I'm sorry.
Yellow's coming, trying to get 1.
One.
Yeah, she calls for top of the 4. Say it seemed awfully light on the release there. But
that we're going to be a little spicy again, but she might catch a piece. Ah, here we go.
Yeah. That's the fun thing with this camera angle is trying to judge how they actually release it when you're kind of looking at it from the side.
Right, for sure.
I really should have been looking at the image on the right there. It's going to clip. All right, and try coming around again.
Seems a little wide. Oh, it does really break late, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's a nice spot. Now,
that's a great shot.
She's got to drive back. She can raise the red into it, and that's what she's going to do. I like that. If anything, it opens up so she can do something later on.
Exactly. A lot of good things can happen here.
Nice. Oh, yes.
And that is a great shot.
Oh. Hard to tell from here. Probably a little too far out on the... Can't tell if it's poking out on the left or not. Probably not.
I think you could corner freeze to it, but I'm not sure there's a straight hit there thing more than, say, backline weight.
I mean, she had that. The last shot she did before was a very nice one, almost to the 1 foot mark there. Probably try that again. Or with her having hammer, clearing the guards herself to get anything, or
I think so. If they need 2 here, I think you may have to open things up here. You could come back and... Yeah, I think you need to deal with that line on that rock on the that shot rock on the tee line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're eyeing some kind of moving those yellows out of the way.
Yeah, they got to hit it just left to get them both out of the way and lose your shooter. They know that the shooter stays right there and you just did nothing. You hearing something weird or not?
Yeah, this is a tough.
They going after red now, or they?
I think they're running the red into the two yellows to open everything up, which is a tough shot, but again, high risk, high reward here. If they can be able to do that, it will definitely give them, because they need to open up a path to that red shot rock.
I don't think they're on the same page.
Oh no, that's actually. Yeah, that's a great outcome.
Beautiful.
Actually. Yeah, that is. So now they're sitting second and third with definitely a path to get to that shot rock. So I think that's a great outcome. So looking to guard that up. I think that, yeah, right on the center line.
Try coming through there and knock the yellow out, or she can come through that port on the right and possibly tap it back a little bit. She's got 3 rocks yet, so
yeah. See, I like this shot a lot. Given how the rocks break late, I think if you throw kind of hack weight at this, it's going to come back, and I think there's a chance you could push it back and even sit 4.
She's going to hit the guard. That's closed up that side. So if I was Michelle, I'd probably block the other side.
I think so, yeah.
Take out that yellow, because they can use that as their own little draw up to it. I think they're trying to wick off that. Yep. Oh.
Looks like they're calling the in off here for the win, which I think is the right call.
Which is what I was talking about the previous rock was stopping that from happening. Very, very, very hard shot. I mean, both have been narrow on their last few rocks, so we'll have to. And they move like about a foot in front of the house. They start really moving.
They do for sure.
Great curling going on. Only one game is done. That's on sheet D, which I said before was Jackson Hedstrom. Hedstrom on top. Here comes her shot. It's about the same weight as Michelle's. Better line, but I think she's going to hit it too square. And it went past.
Oh, that is a great effort and just over the top and past.
This is tough. Try and see if we can touch about right up here.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you
about top 4, right by between the A and the B and bank.
Top 4, even top 8 here. I think you're just trying to take away that draw path
and keep out the double, because if they get the double, they get 2, possibly 2, at least 1. I want to say hi to all the listeners we have going on. Jane Lee's family, everybody's families that listening. I know Jane has got family watching. I missed the call.
I think they're just looking, like we talked about, to sit. You want to guard this up. I don't know if they're going to come deep into the house or just guard it, but we're going to see. Yeah, they're just going to sit high. But, basically force a draw to the button for an extra end here. So that's not a bad outcome. Or actually, they might be lining up the in-off here. So I stand corrected. We're doing an in-off again for all the marbles.
A lot of real estate on that shot.
Yeah, that's an even more difficult shot than the one that was just attempted that they just came over the top on. And that's going to be wide.
And, yep. That's the game. 6-4. Heinze over Segovia. That was a good game. A lot of back and forth on that until the last two ends.
Hugs on the ice. Always nice to see.
Yep. All right. Sheet A. Right far below. Far below won the game 6-4. Sheet B was Cervenik, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, versus Neil. Cervenik won 8-5.
They're still playing, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, they are. All right. Oh, there's 2 rocks left. I didn't see those 2 rocks in the corner. They have a timeout. Never mind. Sheet C is done, and Sheet C was Starkey Sinclair or Leclerc. Leclerc won 9-8, and again Jackson Hedstrom. That one's over after 7, 7-1, and then again Heinze over Segovia, 6-4. Thank you very much. You all have a great day.